fasting log for October 25th and October 26th. No exercise was done on October 25th Sunday, although I did work the COVID tents in the cold for 8 hours on October 25th. And afterwards, I did look at a condo. That was pretty much my activity for the day. So wish me luck that I might get the condo. Morning of October 26th, I did go for my usual 3-mile run. My lunch on October 26th was nothing, just some tea with keto chow fasting drops. Book I'm currently reading during my lunch and commute is Why We Get Sick by Dr. Benjamin Bickman. Highly recommend. Okay, on my non-lunch lunch, just finished my tea and I'm going to walk a few blocks to the store. It's cold, really cold. Why am I doing this? I will tell you in just a bit. And it has to do with the book that I am reading, so stay tuned. Just got back from the store. Here, I'll show you a little bit of what I got. It was really cold. It actually snowed today in Chicago. So here's a little part of my haul. Smoked oysters and olive oil. And anchovies. I have some more things, but I don't want to bore you all. So why did I walk to the store in the cold? Well, partly because I'm reading this book, Why We Get Sick by Dr. Benjamin Bickman. There's a lot of knowledge bombs he's dropping in here for me. And one of them was about brown adipose tissue. And that becomes activated when our skin gets cold. He says the magic temperature against the skin appears to be about 64.4 degrees. And let me read a little excerpt. That becomes active in men and women and starts burning glucose in an effort to warm the body. So I actually did lose a little bit of weight when I reweighed this morning. Was it the fact that I'm carnivore? Was it fasting? Or was it the fact that yesterday I worked the COVID tents outside? So the COVID tents are outside and I was freezing for 8 hours, perhaps, because I lost 2 pounds. I'm trying to maintain. So I eat carnivore in full, so maybe I need to cut my fasting or just wear warmer clothes. We'll see. I intend to keep my fasting regimen towards the end of this month and then reassess. So yes, definitely get this book, Why We Get Sick. I'm going to continue to read it during my non-lunch lunch. I still have a few minutes left and I will come back with other things I have gleaned from the book. Okay, so I'm at the end of my break and before I return to work, still reading Why We Get Sick. And he has a really interesting tidbit about differences between fat cells. There's some people who gain fat and experience hypertrophy of fat cells versus hyperplasia. You can read about it in the book, pages 106 and 107 of his book. And those with hypertrophy may only be mildly fat, but have worse health outcomes than someone who is like more obese. I definitely have a personal fat threshold. The largest I ever got was in the 150s, and that was due to medication. Even when I was binging, I didn't get that chubby. I got to the high 140s. I think 148 is the most I got when binging. With medication more. And even when I was pregnant, I didn't get that big. My first pregnancy, I got into the upper 140s. And when I was pregnant second time, the 132. That's because I had hyperemesis gravidaria in my second pregnancy. I barely gained any weight. But it didn't mean damage wasn't being done. He talks about Okay, so I found out he talks about when a fat cell reaches its maximum dimensions through hypertrophy, it attempts to limit further growth. And a way to do this is to become resistant to insulin's growth signals. So I think that's what I was experiencing with my BP rising, with my A1C going up. And I had, a close friend that was bigger who's clinically obese, but her A1C was better than mine. Her blood pressure was better than mine. I mean, it still wasn't good, but it was better than mine. I'm like, why? Well, this book just pretty much answered it. Anyway, so don't judge a person by their size. I've had some people say, you aren't that big. But again, it doesn't mean that I was healthy. There can be people that are bigger that are healthier than I am. Also, on page 85, it talks about when it comes to body fat, because I'm going to admit there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I ate too much. A few days ago I refed after my 3-day fast, and I felt like I ate a lot. And it turns out when I reweighed, I lost 2 pounds. And like I said a few minutes ago in my other video segment, was it the cold? Was it the fasting? Was it carnivore? Well, according to his book on page 85, when it comes to body fat, the hormone insulin is the critical factor. If insulin is up, body fat goes up. If insulin is down, body fat goes down. And he talks about if person A is eating a 2,500 calorie diet that keeps insulin low, the person A will be leaner than person B, who is eating a 2,500 calorie diet that keeps insulin high. So same amount of calories, but one affects insulin in a different way. So I did eat a lot on my refeed, and I still lost weight because the food kept my insulin low, as well as other things like my exercise, freezing, all that stuff. So I am at 44 hours and 45 minutes, almost out of 45 of my alternate day fast. And I am about to embark on my kettlebell strength training when I go home. As part of my warm-up, walking up the 5 flights of stairs to my apartment. Hopefully soon I'll be out of this building and into my own condo. Rent here is pretty cheap. It's allowed me to get caught up on my bills so that I can afford to buy. But if you're interested in a good strength training program that you can use along with fasting or keto carnivore, click the link below in the description and let me know if you purchase it. I think you will be pleased with it, and let me know your progress. Okay, bye. I was going to end my fast at hour 45, but I still have to train, so let's see how long I can extend my fast. Okay, so warm up. I'm going to warm up with the mace before I do my kettlebell workout. Grave diggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pull it. Round, cast, hinge. Around, cast, hinge. Around, cast, hinge. Other side. Hinge, round, cast, hinge, round, cast, hinge. Warm up. Kettlebell strength training to keep my muscles strong while fasting. Yes, you can train while fasted. Went beyond my goal of 45 hours to 46 hours and 7 minutes. And here is what I broke my fast with. Chicken broth to start, and then spiced eggs, 3 sunny side up with Tosa seasoning from La Master. They're based in Chicago. Cheeseburger with a side of goat liver and bacon, and anchovies for dessert. Consistency with fasting and low carb, exercise, and keeping stress down work.